Hi, big edition of Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Thank you very much, like I always do, for joining me here on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. It's a big honor to always have you here. I'm grateful, consistently, very, very grateful for the support I'm getting from you guys, and I can't say thank you enough. But there's a lot to go, a lot to low down, especially after Chelsea losing and everybody getting worried. But there's a reason why you need to go on and watch, because I keep on asking myself, what do Chelsea really need, especially in January? Is it a striker? Because you see, the financial state of the club will make it very difficult for Chelsea to get an extra centre back and then a striker at the same time. Chelsea will have to choose one. Are they choosing a striker, or are they choosing a centre back? Which is the priority? A centre back or not for Chelsea Football Club? Or is it a striker? Given the kind of messes that Chelsea have had this season, somebody would think that yes, maybe he should be a striker straight away. Maybe he should be a killer. The other person will say that no, Thiago Silva is leaving the club and there's a need to get in a young centre back also who can add to the qualities of the club and then go with the current crop of players. Where do you stand? And that's exactly why I hear. What do Chelsea need most in January? Is it a striker? Is it a centre back? My name is Fiifi-Manfred. This is Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. I am grateful to be here. Grateful for your support thus far. If you've not subscribed to the channel, if you have watched to this far, you should click on the notification button. But subscribe first. Click on the notification button. Do choose all. My name is Fiifi-Manfred. See you. Let's get to it. That's the question. Is Chelsea supposed to get a striker? Are they supposed to go in for a centre back? But we need to go through a contest actually. So, in the context of the conversation, there is the fact that Thiago Silva has granted an interview to Brazilian outlets where he speaks about the fact that the likelihood that he's not going to extend his contract because he's in the final year of his contract. It's ending in the summer of 2024. And there's a very likelihood that he's not going to leave. He speaks about the fact that his kids are in the Chelsea Academy. And yes, they may well be there for a very long time. And he has to take that decision with his family, inclusive Bella Silva, his wife, and then, of course, his kids. But really, does that give and hint that Thiago Silva is leaving the club? Does it mean that he's want to go to his hometown club, Fluminense, and then start a career there as well? And that's the reason why a lot of the centre back names have gone up. Edmond Tapsoba's name has come up. He is a Burkinabe young centre back for Bayer Leverkusen, one of the most proactive centre backs, very good on the ball, and also very, very pragmatic in terms of reading the game and stepping up into danger and making it in the back. He's excellent at that job. The last time I did a tactical analysis of Chelsea's Ousmane Diamonde, a brilliant player from the Ivory Coast, with Sporting CP in the Portuguese league, has had stints in the Portuguese second division. He's one of the best players from left-sided centre back. Comes inverted to play, even in the 4-back, in the 3-back, very aggressive in winning battles, great in terms of winning duels in almost every game that you want him to be in. But essentially, he's also someone that's very good on the ball. His wonderful line-breaking passes has been one of the reasons why he has been earmarked for the top. 6'3", one of the tallest centre-backs that you get at his age, at age 19. One of the best players, and Chelsea may think that, yes, maybe let's get somebody like that to add to the team. And it's important that Chelsea look into such profiles, because really, when you're building a team, you want to make sure that, especially at centre back where telepathy is very important, you build a young crop of young players who can go together. With the possibility of Wesley Fofana coming back from injury and going back, Benoit Badiashile has returned. I think that the dream is to see Levi Cole and Benoit Badiashile by each other at the two centre-back position for Chelsea Football Club. I think it's a great mix of pace, athleticism, reading of the game, defensive solidity, 1v1 aggression, with and without the ball, aerial threat, and everything that you need from a centre-back pair. I think that Benoit Badiashile and Levi Cole will give you exactly that in the Chelsea setup. Now, adding a Diamonde, a Euro, or maybe an Edmond Tapsoba even takes it a notch higher in terms of the depth and quality in that position. But, if you look at the kind of balls that Chelsea have missed, the big chances that Chelsea have missed this season, you can't help but really look at the side of those that think that, you know what, there is no need getting an extra centre back also to it. Because Chelsea are underperforming their XG. So it means that chance creation is not a big deal for the club. There's very good data that backs the fact that Chelsea are creating some very, very good chances in almost every game that they play in. But however, Chelsea seem to be underperforming the XG. In fact, they create quality chances, but for some reason, they tend to make a mess out of these chances. And I personally think that sometimes you need a striker that's excellent in retention and also finishing. And this is what you talk about the likes of Victor Osimhen. When you talk about even outlet to it, you add someone like an Ivan Toney. Of course, Victor is 24 years. Ivan Toney is 27 years. He's older than him. Now you talk about somebody like Boniface for also Bayer Leverkusen in that regard. You say Seydou Girossi. These are top strikers across are younger and can come to the team to get a job done. But really, where does Chelsea stand in all of this? You see, I personally think that somebody like Nicolas Jackson has been unfairly treated as it stands now. So a lot of fans were bashing because the balls aren't going in. And in the game against Brentford at halftime, some fans did go have a go at him, and Mauricio Pochettino stood up for him. You can understand, but if you look at the XGs of the chance that he has created and where he is in the top guys in the English Premier League, you can understand the kind of player that he is. Consistently, he's trying to get through in behind. Consistently, he's trying to create chances. And even over the weekend, he was good in that regard. Yes, I can agree that, yes, with where Chelsea are, you expect that they get some goals to move up the ladder. And the fact that they're underperforming their XG is worrying. But in my opinion, Chelsea doesn't need an extra centre-back. Chelsea needs a killer in January. If Chelsea can go ahead and get an Osimhen, especially with the job that you have with Cole Palmer. So Osimhen is essentially the kind of player that wants to run in behind consistently. So you have a Victor Osimhen and you want to create consistent chances. You want to have some sustained spells of ball possession and then creating chance against people so that you can pin your opponents into their own half, like Chelsea did in large parts of the first half against Brentford. Now, when you do this, you'd want to get a striker that gets in behind consistently. Sometimes he can drop to link up play, but essentially you want him to get in behind. You want him to get in the box and then effect those balls. You want a striker that makes a lot out of nothing, almost nothing, essentially. Somebody like an Erling Haaland. And that is Osimhen's bread and butter, especially at Napoli, where chances that fall to him, he literally has to bathe the chance and then make up the chance, essentially, to get to finish the balls. And that's what Chelsea needs. And also, I think that this may not be a technical prerequisite, but whoever becomes Chelsea's number 9 has to be mentally insane. Because that jersey, that number 9 jersey, that number 9 shirt, has seen a lot of people who have failed at it. That, in fact, that position in itself. And it is only those who have been mentally very, very solid who have been able to succeed in that position. So if Chelsea are going to get in somebody to come into that position, to play as a number 9, to rake in goals for the club, then this guy has to be ready to go against the tough times of the club. Because at the club, their tough times are going to come, and these are the people that matter most. I think that's giving Chelsea's kind of profiles that Chelsea have. Cole Palmer, Mihailo Modric, Enzo Fernandez in terms of progression in the half spaces, Conor Gallagher leading the counter press in that areas. You need a killer. You don't necessarily need a centre-back. I think that with a structure for Chelsea centre-back, it is okay. Just a few things have to be fine-tuned. If these things are fine-tuned, the team is set to get a job done. That's the tactical thought, because now you need a retainer from outside. You need somebody to occupy the half spaces. You watch the game against Brentford and the right side half space wasn't occupied a lot of the times. Axel Disasi was played at right back. That essentially isn't his bread and butter. These are not things that he does on the regular. And you think that these are things that will become a little bit difficult for him to do. But you have a proper striker, then with these attackers, especially for Cole Palmer, who has the pulsar to calm down the game. He has the pulsar to create, to control the tempo in attack, to wait for the runs in behind, to pick these passes. Then you need a killer. You need somebody that runs in behind. You don't need a hold-up player, essentially, like an Ivan Toney. You need a killer in front of post. You need somebody that makes a lot out of nothing. You need somebody that reads the game in attacking third with near perfection in that regard. And that's who Victor Osimhen is. That's who even someone like a Boniface is in that regard. And Chelsea it's in dire need of a striker. And usually opposing fans will say, well, how do you spend 1 billion without buying a striker? And you understand, Chelsea really look at someone like Armando Broja and want to give him time. But in the same vein as well, you want to give Armando Broja time. You're also thinking about the team wanting to win, and they need the team to fast track growth in that group. It's very important. Chelsea needs to qualify for the Champions League. If not this season, next season. Mind you, this season, 5th place can qualify for the Champions League. And this is something that Pochettino and then his people are really looking at. They want to qualify, but they need goals. If you look at where Chelsea are, 11th position, not good enough. You need to climb up the ladder. And in doing this, you need to get a job done. Getting the job done means getting goals. And as it stands now, Nicolas Jackson is not getting Chelsea the number of goals that they need in that club. You have the profiles to create for it. Chelsea create absurd number of chances. And of course, go back and you look at the number of high-quality chances that Chelsea have created. You know that there is no need for a Diamond as it stands now. There is no need for an Edmond Tapsoba. There is no need for any other centre-back. There's essentially an insatiable need for a striker. And that striker should be no one else but Victor Osimhen in the autumn. Chelsea needs to go all out for Victor Osimhen. And I'm waiting. Yes, as for results, I think there's a process. You see, if you're a Chelsea fan, there is no need to stress, actually. Yes, these games were going to come. They're always going to get tough. The Brentford game is one of them. And it's part of the process. I go back and look at the game with a calmer head, and I'm like, there's nothing too wrong with the team. The first half, Chelsea missed big chances. That's a big thing. You solve that with a striker. You solve that with a team that goes in confidence. Again, you go back to the second half and you say, okay, yeah, the structure becomes too fluid. That's on Mauricio Pochettino because he lost his head. Instead of being calmer, instead of being patient to get a job done, he doesn't get patience. He rushes things. He makes mistakes. The structure becomes too fluid. The structure is not rigid in itself, and Chelsea are in trouble. These are things that Chelsea can solve, and I don't think that there's too much of a problem. It's just a case of time, and I think that they'll come clean. So, yeah, guys, I'm just before I go on, if you've not subscribed, do want to subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the channel. My name is Fiifi-Manfred. This is Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Turn on notification and do choose all. I want to say again, thank you to you for staying and sticking. I want to hear from you in the comments. Do you think Chelsea needs a striker or they need a centre back? Let me hear from you. I'll see you. Until then, take good care of yourself. Bye-bye.